quit ta. Dude, fuck this mic right here.
Meow, meow. Is the tape coming off of it right now?
Yeah, I pulled it off to show Tat. I was trying to be an ass, and I ended up ruining it.
Choke, you throw. You're throwing.
I always throw.
Wait, I've never asked why your mic is taped up.
Oh, so my mic is taped. We're just gonna go from here, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, this is the intro. I love
This
it.
is the intro.
Shoot us.
While I hide all the shit in the background, because she has a filing cabinet.
Oh, that's fine.
I've just been taking advantage of
Normal.
it. Okay, so what was I answering again?
Your microphone. Why is it taped?
Oh, so I got this mic for Christmas from Peyton, and Razer has a mic like Parker's HyperX over there where it comes out, and I thought this Razer one was the same, or I thought it was one or. My antivirus noise just popped up and stirred the shit.
Oh, like it was retractable or something?
Yeah, so I thought this was retractable, and no, it was not at all.
Did you just yank it out? Or you just got tired of having it there?
No, so I was gonna cut it, but I don't like it in front because then I feel like a dumbass having two mics right here.
No, my mic is like in his face.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, so that's why I have my mic taped up with rainbow, which I might use the unicorn tape this time. I wish I had some panda duct tape. If I had panda duct tape, it would be
sick.
caked on there.
I think we have kitten ones right now.
Your kitten ones? Oh yeah, I have your kitten
think so.
one on the. I bought more duct tape after that because I bought a rainbow and a unicorn one. Yeah.
I thought you were just making a fashion statement, you know?
No, I do wear a lot of rainbow stuff. I actually don't have my wristband on. I usually have one that says like human on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
You know, like when Nelly used to have like the Band-Aid on his face,
Yeah.
like in the 90s, because it was just cool. Like he didn't actually have like a cut.
No, do you know why he did that?
Oh,
There's
no,
actually
why?
a story behind it. So his brother was either in jail or just got shot or died. I don't know. That might be a little inaccurate, but I know something happened with his brother, and he wore a Band-Aid over his cheek for like.
Oh, so it was just like a symbol.
Yeah, it was actually pretty symbolic, and everyone thought everyone else started doing it as a fashion statement.
Right, it became like a fad, and
Yeah.
it wasn't actually like it was so random.
A bunch of people just thought it was like a fashion statement. He was like, "No, this is for real for me, bro."
Dude, that's so fucked up to be like, like everybody else makes it something totally different than what it is.
I forgot I had this light over here, and I've not been utilizing it.
Oh my gosh, Glitter's dog will probably whine like into the microphone several times because
He needs attention.
extremely needy.
He has something to say, and we need to hear it.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear it.
Odie, this is your platform, bud. Speak.
This is your time.
Okay, so I do have a question for you, White Party Cup, and this is just to get to know you. I feel like these are just basic podcast questions everyone needs to answer. Are you do you put the toilet paper roll over or under?
Over, big time over. Not an under person.
All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you.
Too far to reach is what I say.
I'm going to tell you this is why you need to switch. It saves toilet paper like so much.
Is there like an actual science to that though? Like, is that
Yes,
factual
I actually
information?
did read.
Yes, it actually does.
I read something
How-
that,
And it's the branding too, because their brand is on top. So every time you see it,
Bro, I'm still not understanding though. So I say.
So when it's under, you're statistically more likely to pull earlier and only take like 4 to 5, or all right. So how many pieces do you use every time?
Number 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is where I was getting because I count my squares. Like I'm not ashamed. My squares. I count.
How many?
Typically, I go with 3 squares because I like like a softer ply, a couple extra plies in my TP.
Okay.
3 squares with like 1 fold in half. I fold also. Let's just go. Let's just go all in
I'm
on
a double
that.
fold.
I'll go all in on that.
I'm a double fold.
Oh yeah. If
Dude,
it's not a destructive poop, it's definitely like a triple fold. Like I'll risk that third one.
And not to go too far off track, but one of the wildest things I saw, there was like a survey or like something I saw where it was like apparently the majority of men fold.
Yeah.
The majority of women just bunch. They just bunch it up.
Yeah, they bunch.
That's so strange.
So I learned how like
Never
folding.
bunched. I've always been a fold.
I was a buncher until like high school because I was at football practice and I was in like so our stalls didn't have doors.
Same in high school. We didn't
Yeah,
have doors.
so and you know it's a football when you gotta poop you gotta take everything off. So I took all my equipment.
Everything
like,
has to go down.
yeah, and I'm just sitting there, and of course it became normal.
There with the pads on too, right?
Yeah, so I got so used to just talking to people while taking craps. And Mister came in there one day. Mister is like one of my best friends from high school. I like bunched it up once, and he was like, "Are you a girl?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Men don't bunch up. You fold that shit." And I was like, "Oh."
That's
And-
the most. Like,
Oh.
That's the most like 2000s, early 2010s like gender association types like stereotype I've ever heard in my life. Though, like
Dude, it was.
you bunch. What are you? Some kind of girl?
Oh, dude,
Like,
seriously though. And then I had Kat recently dating her. She goes under,
Okay.
and I was like, "Are you dumb? Why don't you go over?"
You can. So she's the one that conformed you.
Yeah. So then she said something about the statistically, and I was like, "That's bullshit." And then it popped up on my feed one day, and I was like, "That's not true at all." So I looked it up, and there is like you are statistically like usually used less.
It's crazy that like. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that it's
Because when most people go over, they yanked it.
yeah, like as human beings, we statistically like pay attention to our pooping process. Like we do research on it and like we like track it. We like maintain like
That's true.
knowledge of our like bowel movements. It's so strange. We got to be the only living being that actually does anything like that.
Yeah.
Outside of
I
like
don't-
dung beetles, I don't know.
Science.
Science. I need to know if there are other animals that track their pooping process, though.
But honestly, bro, going back to what you were saying, so in my high school, since we're on the pooping subject, we didn't have doors on our stalls either. Like in the school or in like the football like field house, there just none of the stalls had doors. It was the strangest thing ever.
Yeah.
I was that bitch who would like leave class, go use the bathroom, walk down the hall to like whatever class my homie was in, and like wave them down from the door, or like just peep in. And
He
be like,
poops.
yeah, I'd be like, yo, can I see you real quick? Because like especially by the time we were upperclassmen, like it wasn't a big deal. Like we knew most of the teachers, and it was cool, whatever. I always had to take a homie to the bathroom to go poop with me because they're like I already felt vulnerable enough pooping with the door wide open in the bathroom.
You're already pretty open, yeah.
Yeah, like I needed somebody that I knew there in case like, dude, you're just vulnerable. Like, what if like high school's savage? Like, what if some rival teenage gang rolls up on you, and they want to whoop the shit out of you while you're just
I'm flinging poop.
yeah. Dude. Oh my god.
Do you stand up to get it, or do you roll, or do you squat?
Oh, I'm staying squatted.
You're gonna stay squat.
Yeah, they're
just,
gonna
like, reach
they're gonna
underneath?
stay standing and trying to swing because they're gonna want to avoid my poop. I'm gonna stay squatted, athletic position, just start flinging like a catcher,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then when I'm done, just I guess I gotta wipe it somewhere. So just like while they're like running away.
No, on their back on the ground. You
Yeah,
know?
because I mean I'm not standing after I get poop flown at me. I'm dead.
Have you
Like,
boys
don't
ever
touch
Out for the
me.
couch.
Yeah.
have you boys ever used the squatty potty?
No. Oh my god.
It's pretty legit, bro.
I've heard about it a lot, and I've used a stool before, and it was effective.
It really is. Like you really get into position and it just flows like just so naturally.
I want one so bad, just to say I have one, not even to
I think
use
you
it.
can get it at Target.
So the first time I ever used one,
I think so.
I need to buy that from Target.
I literally I was at the Tennessee versus Florida football game in Gainesville, Florida, back in 2017, I think. Either way,
Hmm.
I'm at like this random house party in Gainesville. Some of my friends were UF students, so I went to a party that they took me to, and at the time like I'm a Tennessee student, so I'm just going wherever. We're at this house party. I go upstairs. Like I'm not gonna lie, I had to poop pretty bad, and so I'm like, man, I'm
It happens.
about to do some random kid's house in a different state.
Mark your turd.
Right. I go into the bathroom, like the first one I see, there's a squatty potty like against the toilet, and I was like, "This is it. This is the one." I was like, "I'm gonna."
It knew.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna use it." So I use the squatty potty, and I'm amazed at, the effectiveness. And I'm not kidding, bro. Like this is like a 2-story house. Like I like walk out of the bathroom, like I'm standing at the top of the stairwell, and there's just like a full blown like pregame house party going on for this football game, and I'm like, "Yo." I'm like, whose bathroom has the squatty potty? And literally, like, one kid is like, oh, that's my bathroom. And I was like, yo, that thing's legit, bro. I have to get one. Like, just acknowledge to the whole party. I was like, the whole party was like, the squatty potty is real. It was dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was funny.
Can we go back to marking your territory? Because every time I go somewhere new, I have to poop in their bathroom.
Oh, man. I'm always nervous to do that. I'm always nervous to poop in new places.
No, I have so much confidence to come out of their bathroom for the
very
first time.
comfortable to do it.
Dude, the first time... Oh, go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
I have no fear doing it. I will be like, where's your bathroom? This was a long ride.
Dude, I'll try to be so nonchalant. I'll just be like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I'll try to like slide out without anybody seeing me.
There was apparently an unspoken rule at Delaney's house that the downstairs bathroom was usually just for pee.
Oh no!
I broke that first time there.
I would have too. I wouldn't. If they don't, I feel like that's something that they should tell you when you walk in.
Like, did you just poop in there? I was like, yeah. She's like, you should do that upstairs. I'm like, oh, okay.
I feel like that's something that they should tell you when you walk in the door, though. Like somebody should whisper it in your ear.
Like a step guideline of it, yeah.
Yeah, like someone should.
This is one of those things you don't want to break, because then they know.
Like as you walk in. Go ahead.
Could you fathom like the discomfort though, like her family would feel if like every time somebody new walked in their house, they have to be like, by the way, the shitter downstairs is for peeing only. Like like you can't shit in the downstairs bathroom. Just FYI.
Do you think they should get a sign on the door?
Ooh, I would like a sign. That would
like pee only, or like number 1 only.
Yeah.
Or number 2 upstairs.
Bathroom number 1, bathroom number 2 is upstairs.
Yeah. But hear me out, boys. Like you dress it up, and you make it like kind of farmy. Like you put like you make it like floral, like some designs. Maybe you like sell it at Hobby Lobby. Live, laugh, love. Yeah. Like you really dress it up and you market it right, and you're like, oh, by like live, laugh, love. By the way, don't shit in this toilet. And then you just like make it into it.
What if instead of like
live, laugh, don't shit in here.
Live, laugh, whatever you do, just don't shit in this toilet.
Do you guys have the like rule that you always check for toilet paper before you do anything? I always do.
Sometimes you gotta pinch and run, brother.
Yeah, bro, I'm pretty bad about it.
You gotta pinch and go get it. You just like stay squatted and waddle to it.
I was gonna say, what if they put like on the toilet paper roll, no toilet paper there, but they put like a post-it, go upstairs for this?
Ooh.
Get your own, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been caught.
BYOTP.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like that's the move. Like if you ever have like if you're ever not like fond of like your kid's like significant other, like if you want to be like that parent that's like kind of intimidating, like just like take the toilet paper roll out of the bathroom whenever they come over and just really test them. That would be so funny.
Do you stand or you sit when you wipe? I need to know this.
I sit. I definitely sit.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
And this one just popped into my mind. I don't want to forget it, but I've known people that do this, and I'm not judging anybody that does it.
No shaming. Just
anybody ends up listening to this conversation. I'm not judging anybody that does this, but I didn't know it was a thing for a while, but I know there's people who completely derobe, like they get completely naked.
Yeah, get completely naked.
Yeah. Do you know anybody like that? Are you like that? Do you know anybody like that?
If it's intense, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I usually, it's usually not the top. It's usually just the shorts for more spread. Yeah. That's usually what happens to me. The shirt stays on.
I think it's turned into a crop top. It's definitely turned into a crop top.
Oh, so you kind of just bunch it up.
But I don't think I've ever done completely. My pants and underwear, socks, everything I've come off before.
Yeah, dude, I had a buddy in high school who he just always head to toe. He was like, dude, it all has. So he wouldn't shit at school.
All has to come off.
Yeah, he wouldn't like if he had a bad like upset stomach that day. Like he'd get called out of school and just go home because he was like, I'm gonna be shitting all day and I like have to be naked. I was like, that's so fucking crazy. Because I just never really put it together until I was like, I don't know, 15 years old.
No.
I get that spiritually.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't have put that together either.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Let's turn into a poop podcast really quick.
I know. I have more poop-related questions.
It's always good starting the shit.
Yeah.
I had one more question about it, but I can't remember it now. We derailed when we went to your friend getting completely naked.
Talking about poops and being in the stalls and no bathroom doors. Yeah.
No
Canada must have been a nicer place. We had doors.
Dude, no doors in the stall is one of the wildest concepts I had ever experienced in my life.
I think it's giving me no fear to poop everywhere. I think that's why I have no fear going to other people's places.
It's just openly giving you the power, right?
Yeah. Because you know how you said you like did out in middle of class? I would too, but that's also when everyone else would go to shit. So there'd be like four of us in there. There'd be like four of us in there doing it once, and I'd be like, "What's up, dude?" It was usually the same like 3 guys at this. Like we would always meet up. See,
I always like group shits were always the best too, because again like that sense of like vulnerability. I can't speak. I just felt like much safer because, bro, like
that's close enough.
I suck at talking. I have like
words are hard.
I have like PTSD from being a child in like elementary school, just being the only one shitting in the bathroom, and then like the cooler kids like coming in and being like, "Hey, yo, he's shitting in here," and I'm like, "Oh god," I'm like fumbling the toilet paper, like picking my feet up.
Oh no!
I'm like, everybody knows I'm shitting in here. I'm like, "Oh god." Like the worst like social thing ever to happen.
I do remember that being like traumatizing in elementary school. I think high school just broke that out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even for football practice, we had a porta potty.
Oh,
we weren't allowed to run back to the locker room. We'd have to run to this porta potty next to the Dame Stadium because our practice field was like here, and then the school was here, like 10 feet away, and then our freaking game field was like another football field away. We'd have to run all of that instead of because they figured we would just hide in the locker room. They're like, no one wants to sit in that porta potty long.
Sure.
You'd have to take either.
I would take like.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that out for like my poops during philosophy, Tuesday Thursdays that I had one year, they were hour and a half long classes. I would leave for a half hour just to poop, just to get out of there and have a break, you know.
Was this in college?
It was always in the middle of class. Oh yeah, in college.
Oh, I would leave to poop. I would go get Starbucks, come back with food.
Yeah.
At Manchester, I was such a shit in Manchester.
That was a beautiful thing about college, was just like, in that sense, you were like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna leave and just come back whenever I want. Like, who the hell's gonna tell me I can't go take a shit right now?
I did have one professor be like, "Do you have to ask for permission?" I was like, "I'm not gonna ask you to go shit."
Yeah.
I was like, I'm 23 and I should have graduated last year. Leave me alone.
Are you sure you want me interrupting the flow of your class to let you know that I'm about to go have a bowel movement? No, sir.
Excuse me.
It was either that or I was always late and I'd walk in with my longboard. So I'd walk in with a device for speeding and still get there late.
Oh, God. Yeah, like at that point, you just didn't have any excuse. It was basically just like a big, like, dude, fuck you, I don't care about this class.
Oh, one of the advisors from my department, like, God, what's his name? Not Duchesne. I hate Duchesne.
I hope he
Beer.
listens to it.
I don't.
Dude, I unfriended him on Facebook because every time he posted something, I wanted to put, "Is your name Duchesne?" and then put like actual douche. Because he's just on. All right, I'm done on him. But beer. So my advisor, he was also one of my teachers for therapeutic exercises. I don't remember what it was, but it was at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, Thursdays. I would ride in with my longboard, my coffee, and my bagel, and he would always be like, "Did you bring enough for the class since you're late?" I'm like, "No," and this was an every time occurrence. He would just look at me and be like, and would have some type of different remark for me being late with the device for speed.
Dude, that is one of those things that, like, I always wondered what it would be like to attend like a smaller student populated, like a smaller institution. Because like going to like a large public institution, like nobody fucking cares about you which can be great, but then sometimes too you're like, oh, actually I kind of want somebody to care about me a little bit, because like it literally would get to a point where like, like you would have classes with teachers who didn't even really know your name or anything about you at all. And it was so strange. It was like, yeah, I can get up and like leave or just never come to this class, but at the same time it was like I've built no relationships here, like within this specific class.
I feel like
you went to University of Tennessee, right?
Yeah. That's where I went for undergrad.
That's where
what
your
schools
undergrad's
have you
from.
gone to again?
So I got my associate's degree from Cleveland State Community College in Cleveland, Tennessee. Go Cougars. I got my bachelor's degree in sports management with minor in business from the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. And then I went to the University of Mississippi and just recently graduated from there with my master's in sport and rec administration. Hotty toddy, go Rebs. But yeah, so the two SEC schools, man, and it was dope. It was so fun. I really loved both of them.
How into the rivalries do you get?
I get.
And does it get rough?
I get into sports rivalries in different ways. Like, I don't get too intense into it. I'm probably more intense as a fan for international soccer games. But within the realm of college,
it's coming
sports,
home, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling for him. But within the realm of like college sports, I take the rivalries with a grain of salt. I grew up a Florida fan. I was born and raised in Florida. Thought that was where I was going to go to school, and then life changes, and I live in Tennessee, and end up going to school in Tennessee, and I love it there. And those two schools are large rivals. And then I go all the way out west to Mississippi, and they're not really major rivals with anybody, but every school in the SEC is rivals with each other. So it's really just being a SEC like college sports fan is literally saying that every other school is just a bunch of cousin fuckers, and it's just a circle of everybody calling each other cousin fuckers because we all go to Southern schools. That's literally all it is. It's just a revolving door of like, yeah, well, you sleep with your cousin. And it's like, yeah, well, you have no teeth. And it's like, yeah, well, we're all from the South. So what are we arguing about?
Honestly, that's how I imagine SEC school arguing. Like,
it's literally the same insults between every school. Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change at all. We're not very original. But damn it, we're passionate.
That's what really matters.
It's
Exactly.
all about the passion. Whole lot of passion.
Oh, there's no other like conference or division or anything in college sports out like that can passion the SEC. That even makes sense. Like it's dedication, bro. It really is. And I love it. I live for it. My goal, I want to work for another SEC school someday.
What's your dream SEC school to work for?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough, man. There was actually an opening at LSU a couple months ago that I really, really wanted. But it wasn't really in line with what me and Glitter's plans were with her going to school in Miami, and I knew I was going to propose even though I hadn't yet. And I was like, there's no way like I'm going to be able to set up our life while living in like Louisiana and her living in South Florida. So I just kind of took a step back from those plans for the time being. But man, there's so many good ones. Like I would honestly just be happy to work at any SEC school. There's some that I would prefer not to, just because of like the geographical locations. Like I don't think I would like living in like Missouri that much, because I know very little about it. And I probably wouldn't want to live in like Columbia, Missouri, or like Fayetteville, Arkansas. But like
Arkansas.
Yeah, like America. Explain.
Arkansas is just heat and
but
hills.
like, dude, I learned like I really liked Mississippi a lot. It was actually as much shit as like the state of Mississippi gets from everybody else. Like when you go there, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of a cool place. And then like Tennessee's all right. Tennessee's okay. I like the Memphis side of Tennessee. I don't really like East Tennessee that much. Like I loved going to school here, but I wouldn't want to come back and work here. And then really the rest of them are fine. Like they're all pretty. It's just I don't know how bad I want to live in like Alabama either. You know, I don't know.
Right.
It's tough.
fair.
I can't say I have a dream SEC school. I just don't want to work at like Georgia or Alabama, really, if I can absolutely help it.
If you didn't if there are two that you didn't want to, those are it.
Those are it. Those
Every
are,
else will be fine.
Yeah, I could make it work everywhere else.
All of those schools. Just I used to be a big Florida fan back in like little kid.
I was a Tebow fan, so
Yeah, man, I was too. Like big Tebow fan, and they won all the time, and I grew up in Florida. Like everybody around me was Florida fans, so that's just how my childhood was growing up. But then when I went to,
do you think he's gonna be a better tight end than Gronk this year?
dude,
Eh.
let me think about how I want to say this.
Dude, I don't even know how this is gonna go, but I'm excited.
Dude, 13-year-old me at heart is like, yeah, he's gonna be the best fucking tight end to ever play football. Because he's Tim Tebow and he's a beast.
He can do
Big part of me hopes he does like show out as a tight end, like
Yeah.
out of nowhere, like
Mm-hmm.
just to prove everyone wrong.
Me being a logical adult who follows sports and has just like studied the game and like played football and watches regular, like I'm a regular fan of both the NFL and college and all the things. Man, he Tebow probably be like average at best, you know. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I really don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it really working out all that much. I can't even tell you, and I watched almost his entire college career. I don't really remember him catching a lot of passes as a quarterback for the University of Florida during, from 2006 to 8 or 9, whenever. So, yeah, I don't know.
When the Wildcat was starting to get big, too.
Yeah, like the man with the ball in his hands, bro, I don't doubt that he can make plays. But, I mean, obviously throwing it, that windup is just devastating. It takes forever. And then who knows if he can actually catch a ball, bro? I haven't seen anything out of the Jaguars practice.
Did you guys happen to pay
Saw
attention
him
to his
walk in
baseball
once.
career at all?
Just whatever.
When he hit the ball, he mashed the shit out of it. Otherwise, he didn't hit the ball very much.
I remember his first season highlights that popped up and Mets, and that's it. That's the last thing I remember of Tim Tebow in
That was
baseball.
about it. He was. I think he was in the minor league system for 2 years, but the second year it wasn't full because he stopped playing
And then he was an
released or
announcer out of like
whatever.
nowhere for me. Like I don't remember him becoming an
for
announcer.
game day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching it just
He just kind
randomly
of showed
once.
up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's a great TV personality. Like I enjoy watching him on the SEC network for the most part. And I mean he's an alum of an SEC school. Like I think he fits well in that universe and in that career field. But like I don't know, man. I really do hope the guy balls out, or I hope he at least
Where's he at?
Jackson.
playing under Urban Meyer, who's coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm a little
who also coached him at Florida. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fun, bro. Like one thing I will say is like my values that I hold in regard to like the NFL and college football are completely different. They're very separate. Because I mostly look at the NFL as like entertainment more than competition. So like I love when they do shit like this. Like yeah, you literally brought in Urban and Timmy on the same team again to do this. Like I don't care if they actually are great or if they suck. I'm not a Jags fan, but like what's gonna happen if Tebow comes out there and he lays an egg? I'm still gonna sleep just fine at night, you know? And I'm still gonna be like, oh, I love Tim Tebow, still love that guy, he's great. You know, like if this kind of move was happening like at a major college program and they made these kinds of moves, I'd be like, okay, like what the hell are they actually doing? Like they're actually like fucking things up there, because there's just like so much more like limited time, you know, with a college program, like whereas the NFL, I don't know, like in the NFL there's always next year, right? In college these guys literally have 5 years max if they do like a grad transfer to get a championship and, you know, take it all in and do stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys watch the fights at all last night?
No, I saw a couple of things on Instagram about Conor McGregor's leg, and that's about it.
It was gross. I watched it happen.
Did he break it?
He definitely broke it. His shin was like on the ground. He was like standing on his shin at one point.
I'm not gonna lie, I love watching those
God.
videos.
Ugh, I can't. Dude, they freak me out.
No, we had to watch them for a few of my classes, and they were like, so Kat's in a wound care rotation right now. She talks about like these really gross wounds, and a part of me is like, huh. But the other part of me is like, I love watching the disgusting things, like the bones break.
Ugh, I can't.
Yeah.
I'll like actually get nauseous and queasy if I see it.
No, so my freshman year, one of our linebackers like grabbed someone midair, and when he like pulled his like shoulder pad, I don't know, it's like where he pulled his hands and where his shoulder pad was when he hit the ground with the kid, he like snapped his femur, so his thigh bone.
Oh.
And I heard it because I was like 10 feet away on the sideline. I heard a thick ass thunk, and I was like,
Yep, bro. I would have turned green.
I
would have
looked
been like,
around and I was like, the ref was like, all right, next play, like, because it was still running clock or whatever. Like, I don't remember how,
Right.
But
you're like, this
was
guy
like,
is
he's dead.
Feeling it.
We need a.
My dad was telling me last week, he umpires baseball. He was behind the pitcher because there was a runner on, and he said as he threw a fastball, he heard his arm snap.
Oh, he
broke his arm
like,
throwing
throwing?
a fastball.
Yeah.
That makes
And he
my
said
elbow hurt.
it wasn't pleasant hearing that 15 feet away.
Jeez, bro. Could you imagine?
Could you imagine snapping on a throw and it just going? That just
Dude, my
sounds like horrible.
fingers are
My
going
shoulder
tingling.
hurts thinking about throwing at
Yeah.
all, but
My fingers go numb thinking about throwing. Like,
Have you guys ever broke anything?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've never broke anything, but I've been in a neck brace once. I got hit from behind in Hockey A, Canada,
Oh yeah.
and tore all the ligaments between my vertebrae. And then I have tendonitis in my elbow and a cyst in my shoulder. So when I throw it all, it kind of yells at me the next day.
What kind of cyst you got in your shoulder, Porks?
I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's like right in the middle of the joint.
Yeah.
I've had it since my senior year of high school.
I've
yeah,
had a
kind of sad about that.
I've got a bone cyst on my right fibula that I've had since I was like
Oh, really?
8 years old. Yeah, so I've broken it twice.
What is a bone cyst? Is that just a
It's
cyst that grows on your bone?
Yeah, it's just a growth on the bone, and then it basically compromises that section of the bone. So it's structurally like much weaker than the rest of the bone. Like, you break a bone and it grows back stronger. Like, I've broken that fibula twice in that specific like area of the cyst, and it just doesn't really grow back any stronger. Like, it's just there taking up space, but it's benign. I mean, I had a biopsy done on it when I was in middle school, and it's nothing to be like concerned about, but it's just a compromise in my leg that, like, to this day, if I'm playing pickup ball anywhere, and like most recently I was like a while back I was playing basketball and I went up for a layup, and like as I went up, somebody was running behind me and their knee like caught the back of my my right fibula, and like landing, like I just collapsed when I landed because like the pain that I felt when it made contact was like really intense. And then of course they were like panicking. They were like, "Oh shit, man, you?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm good." I was like, "Probably nothing happened. It's just super sensitive." And I was like, "I'm good. I'm just gonna sit down for a second because like it hurts like shit." But, yeah, I don't see many people who have that type of stuff, but that's the only thing I've ever broken that I know of is that one fibula, a couple times, which is good because that bone doesn't really bear a lot of weight, so it's not really hard to manage.
I broke this bone in my pinky, like in my hand from my pinky. I broke these two. It's called a boxer's fracture because I shattered my knuckles, along with snapping these in half. I got into a fight in like 8th grade, and then like someone yelled teacher, or like said a teacher or somebody was coming, so like everyone cleared out of the bathroom, and I was still chasing the guy down.
Yeah.
And I got pissed because they stopped me, so I like hit my locker because that's what 13-year-olds do.
Yeah, and then you broke your fucking hand.
Yeah, and then like they called us both down to and I didn't realize it was broken or anything. we got down to the principal's office, because, I mean, obviously they caught us both. And they separated us, and I walked into the office, and I didn't realize that my hand was bleeding because it was sticking out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I looked down, and I was like, "Oh, shit." And I was like, that's supposed to be in my hand, not outside here, buddy.
Oh my gosh, bro.
The kid, since the other kid started the fight, though, he didn't get to walk to graduation. I had to walk with a giant-ass cast in my hand.
It's a dub. It's a major dub.
It was probably top 5 dumbest fights I've ever gotten into.
I guess since we're on that topic too, like I've only ever been in one actual fist fight before that I can remember. It was quick too. It was middle school, of course. I feel like that's the peak, like fighting age. I guess it's like you're so angsty and just full of hormones. You're like, I gotta fight something. You're like, I either have to like try to make out with something, or I gotta fight something. That's like the two. That's like your fight or flight.
That's true.
Basically. And then, yeah, this kid just. I remember we were just jawing at each other. It was like a friend of mine too. We were friends. We were jawing at each other in his backyard, and I was finally just like, dude, fuck you, I'm going home. And I was just like walking away, and he picked up like one of those metal razor scooters and just chucked the bitch at me and like almost hit me with it. And I remember I just like charged him, and I like the first thing I did, I don't know why, I guess because we were friends and I didn't want to actually hurt him. I punched him in the chest as hard as I could, just square in the chest.
Just square in the chest.
Oh, dude, he like collapsed and he was like, ah, and I like punched him a couple more times. And then I got up and his dad came out there and he was like, what is going on? And he was like freaking out, and he had this huge bruise in his chest, like this massive purple. I like clotted up and made this giant purple like bruise in his chest. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is bad. And his dad was like, what happened? And I was like, he threw a scooter at me. And he was like, the kid was kind of a shithead too, anyways. So his dad was just like, huh, well, I guess he got what he deserved. Because I think his dad wanted to beat the shit out of his own son like 90% of the time. So he was just like, finally, somebody kicked my son's ass.
I feel like friends in middle school and like up to high school are allowed to fight each other regularly.
Yeah, and like the parents can't even really get mad.
No, me and my god, me and my best friend used to get into like the dumbest fights in high school. The one time he tried to like stab me with the homemade spear we made the day before.
Yeah.
We took like 2 meter sticks, tied a letter opener in between, and we made a spear. Like that was it.
Did you guys try to like kill each other?
I made yeah.
No,
That's
so
a good question.
I'm very serious about shotgun rules. And I yelled shotgun and did into the car.
For cars.
Yes. And he sprinted to my mom's car and tried to get in the front. Well, I caught his bitch ass. And I grabbed him by his underwear and his shorts and ripped his underwear up to his shoulders and then nut tapped him. Nut punched him like hard as shit. And he lost it because it hurt so bad.
You primed the nuts up, made them real tight, and then went to town.
Yeah, just once, just a good
Rang
one.
the bell.
Yeah,
we need like a name for that whole process, like
that's a whole process.
So his nickname, he's gonna hate me if he ever sees this. His nickname is Titty Joe.
Yeah.
So we could call it a Titty Joe. I like it because you're trying to turn.
That's such a power move, though, too.
Yeah.
Because he was
like,
fully bent over trying to get into the car.
You throw them up in the air and spin them, and as they're spinning, hit them in the nuts.
Because you like remove any slack for those things to like any give
Yeah.
you might have, you know, like any room.
There's no way you can miss.
Adjust. Yeah.
The worst part. So after I did that, he stormed inside the house, grabbed a mini sledgehammer and and the spear we made. And then grabbed my book bag out of the car and like whipped it down the street and then beat my book bag with the sledgehammer. And then stabbed my notebooks and homework with the spear. And then my mom was like, apologize. And I was like, no, I called shotgun. That's what he deserves. So
I feel like there comes a... Oh, go ahead.
He was like fuming on the steps, just like his mom was like, Timothy Joseph, go... Like, that was out of line. And then she was like, Frank, you didn't have to hit him that hard. I was like, I called shotgun. That was my only defense. I called shotgun and he deserved the one nut tap.
I feel like I feel like there comes a time in every young man's life where we just revert straight back to like primal instincts, and we're like, okay, I'm now going to attempt like full-blown homicide on my friend because they pissed me off. Like, I'm not gonna beat his ass. Like, I'm gonna go grab a legitimate weapon and I'm going to try to attempt to end his life.
We've legitimately like beat the shit out of each other. Like we played Punch Bug Yellow Tar, but we play it Punch Bug Yellow Tar. So if you see a yellow tar or a yellow punch bug, you get to hit each other. But if you see a yellow punch bug, you get to hit the person twice.
It's 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow, I've never played it that way.
So we happen to pass a
Yellow car is a fun game.
Yeah, but you can't hit each other for buses or Penske trucks.
Wow.
Or taxis.
I'm not really familiar with these rules, but I've also never. I did Punch Bug, but I never did Yellow Car.
Me and my mom used to play this, and we used to do thigh slaps. Oh, did that quit the second my hand got like bigger than hers?
I was a big Bloody Knuckles guy. I actually one of my last couple weeks, the week before I graduated grad school, recently, I got hammered at one of the bars in Oxford, and I started playing Bloody Knuckles with one of my coworkers, and I won. So then naturally, like, somebody else challenged me, and then I beat them. And at this point, I'm like 9 daiquiris deep.
You're drinking daiquiris and playing Bloody Knuckles.
I'm drinking frozen daiquiris and drinking Bloody Knuckles, and I'm not feeling a thing because I'm like, I'm deep in these daiquiris. And all of a sudden, like, I'm beating everybody at Bloody Knuckles, so like the whole bar is like lining up to challenge me, and it literally gets to a point to where I like look at my hand, and I'm like bleeding, like some skin's peeled back, like my hand just looks really bad, and I was like people, like my coworkers and friends are like looking at me and they're like, dude, just stop, it's not even impressive, and I'm like, geez, okay, fine. Like, wake up the next day and I'm like, oh fuck, like look at my hand, it's literally like the day of or like the day before graduation, and my shit's like swollen, like the skin's splotchy, like it's all fucked up. Like, I ruined my hand like the day before my college graduation. It was so bad. It took like a month to heal.
That's kind of amazing.
It was fun as shit at the moment, but it took a lot of daiquiris to get me there.
What would you say is your dumbest injury?
Ooh, I'll leave that one out in particular because that one's definitely up there. If I wanted to consider it an injury, but man, what is my dumbest injury?
Porch, do you have one on the top of your head?
I'm trying to think.
Dude, I attempted a front flip on the ground one time, and it landed straight on my ass, and it hurt so bad. I couldn't walk for like a week. I wasn't even close. Like,
hey, you made the flip, you just didn't land it.
No, bro, I didn't even like get close to putting my feet down. I like flipped just straight onto my ass, and it just hurt.
Ass first.
I have 2 that I'm stuck on. One was with Michael and Trevor. We were at the gym, and you know the bands from the ceiling that you can use to like do push-ups and the.
Oh, like TRX.
Yeah, TRX bands.
Yeah.
So we were doing ab exercises with them. Like, we put our feet in them, and. I don't know what Michael, he was doing impressions I'm not gonna say, but he got me to laugh while I was doing an ab exercise, and I went from like a plank and then I just bent, and I re-herniated my disc bending that way.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bad one.
And then I was with my babysitter trying to impress her. Do you guys ever do this game when you were kids where you glide across at a playground? Like, there's a little bar you can hold on to.
Yeah.
We used to have a game to see who could slam it the hardest and did it to go back and forth as much as possible. I did it, but I did a backflip and dislocated my elbow because I flung myself that hard trying to impress my babysitter, who was in like, I think 18, and I was like 9 or 10.
I definitely had a babysitter once that I was pretty into. I was digging it. I was feeling her. I was like, oh.
Mine was 3 teenage sisters. They were like 17, 18, 20.
I was like 5. I'm pretty sure my babysitter was like 16 or 17 years old. It's like not a shot in the world.
Oh.
Shoot or shoot, though. Shoot or shoot.
That's right.
I shot and I missed horribly. So she had to carry me back crying.
I tried to do a backflip out of a swing one time. Like, did you ever just like, you swing back and forth, and then if you lean back super
And
hard,
you
like,
flip around and land on your.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mastered that in like 6th grade, and I thought I was the coolest fucking kid on the playground because I could do it. And I was like, I'm elite. Like, people know me as a backflip.
I'm the king.
Yeah.
I am the king.
Like, I had a reputation, and I'm not kidding you. I was out there one day by myself, and I guess I just didn't have that motivation without like a crowd, and I did like tried to push it too far, and I tried to do like a certain different kind of like thing in my backflip, and I just remember like I went back and my right leg like wrapped the chain of the swing, so like I didn't get the full motion, so I just like stayed hung upside down as the swing came back down and just rocked my face into the ground. Like, it got dragged across the ground by my head, like, on the swing. That one was pretty bad, and there was nobody out there too. So like, yeah, nobody saw it, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, if I would have went unconscious, like, I would have just been dangling by my foot on the swing set, like a dead body.
Just imagine the person to find you though; they'd be shitting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
I just thought of mine.
Okay.
So it was before we moved from Nebraska, so I'm thinking I'm like 6 or 7, maybe. And we had a horseshoe pit in our backyard, and we had plastic ones for Peyton and I, and then the regular ones, And I remember it was Peyton and I in the backyard. I was just throwing the horseshoe up in the air and like catching it. And then one time, I caught it like on my face. Didn't realize I cut myself or anything. Peyton's like, Parker, your face is bleeding, and I have a scar underneath where it cut, and I had to go get stitches for it because I caught a metal horseshoe on my face.
You had to get stitches?
Didn't even feel it. Had no idea I was bleeding.
That. Ow. Like, I've never had to get stitches, and they kind of terrify me.
Yeah, I'm scared of stitches.
I've got stitches twice.
The closest I've ever been is when my mom made me trip over chicken wire.
What did she just like, put you?
No, we were working out. We were building our garage, and I was digging it out, and she happened to walk by and go with water while I was in the. So I jumped out and I started spitting water back at her, and I happened to back into the chicken wire, and like here's the wire, here's the heel of my exposed, and it went into my heel like this deep in.
Ooh.
And instead of like lifting it, knowing I was stabbed, I like kicked my foot out. But when I kicked my foot out, I lost my balance and went straight back onto it. And I went like all the way across my arm and then like all the way across my back. My mom was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna die! You're gonna die of bleeding." I'm like, "No." I just poured water all over it.
I thought of another good one. It was actually like in high school. I think I was 16. It was my first car, and my first car was like this 1997 Saturn that was just, dude, it was beat up, but like it ran and it got me where I needed to go. So I'm not shit talking the car, but it was, it was worn out, and the like fabric on the ceiling, it had like fabric that lined the entire ceiling. It was starting to come undone, and so it was like draping, and I was like, well, I can't just have this like draping down on top of me while I'm driving the car. Plus, like, it looked bad. So I take like a big ass stapler, like one that you use to staple like shingles to the roof, and I'm like stapling this fabric liner back into my ceiling, and dude, I'm not kidding you, like I'm just going to town with a stapler, and I put one straight into my thumb, like all the way into my thumb. Like I hit it and I felt it, and I didn't realize it, like it didn't hurt that bad until I actually like I sat there for like 5 seconds and like looked at it, and I was like, oh my God. And then I like reached in and grabbed, like touched it, and that's when I was like, oh God, this hurts. The second I like touched it and I just like pulled it out, like super, it went in far enough to where like I felt it hit the bone in my thumb, but it didn't go through the bone, like it stopped there, and I was like, ooh, that hurt like shit. I just
feel that in my like, nail stuff freaks me out.
Yeah. Like
tips of the fingers, like getting a nail ripped out is one of my biggest fears, and I don't know why a staple going through my hand is also one of those. Outside of cockroaches.
It didn't hurt as bad as I thought it did, but the second I like touched it to take it out, that's when I was like, oh yeah.
It hurt.
Yeah. I just feel that in my spine.
I felt it then.
I have a quick question for both of you. Do you guys believe in aliens?
Ooh.
Just this.
There was supposed to be information that came out from the government about aliens, but
I thought they
I don't know.
did release it.
I
Have
like
you
to
actually
believe
checked it?
because it'd be cool.
I'm pretty sure I saw
I haven't
something
heard
saying that they
anything,
like
so I'm
confirmed it,
assuming.
but that's through Instagram, and I need to stop trusting Instagram as my source of information.
I don't know if that's real. Yeah.
100% believe that aliens exist. I just do.
All right, so do you think they know we exist and they're just like stay away from those people?
Monitoring us to
Yeah.
like, oh god, these guys are fucked up. We don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, like
Maybe.
these guys.
I think they know. I think they know that we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to be much smarter than us.
Yeah.
It's not. This can't be hard to beat though, right?
Do you think they're like exo or like ants where they have the shell of them on the outside, like how our bones and stuff are inside? Do you think theirs are on the outside? How do you think they're built? Or do you think there's just like endless possibilities?
I definitely.
I think there is too endless.
What would you?
Yeah.
What type would you want to run into out of an alien? Like, do you have an ideal
Yes.
alien type? All right, give me that.
No, just yes.
Is
Listen,
I would want to meet them.
I want to meet them, but I would hope that whatever alien species I met was like extremely physically inferior to myself. Like
That's
if
what
they
I
tried
was-
anything funny, I
Mhm.
could beat the shit out of them if I had to. You know?
you don't want any like Kryptonians out here? You
No,
don't want
yeah,
anybody like us?
Like I want somebody who's
No
like,
Clark
yo,
Kents.
like, just be cool, bro, and everything's fine. You know? But like the second if you try something, like
Mhm.
I will end you. You know?
Just imagine
gonna-
like a tiny race of bug type of aliens just chilling watching us, and that imagine if they invade, our buds take on them. What if our buds like switch sides and join them?
Dude, what if
They can
what if
control the
there's-
bugs.
Yeah,
What if our bugs are already waging a war against alien bugs and we're not even really aware of what's going on?
We don't even know about it.
I
Yeah.
hope they tell all the cockroaches.
Did we
that's
just
all I
write the
gotta
next
say.
Disney movie?
Ooh.
What would you call it? There's already a Bud's Life.
Let's call it Ants. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. That's already a movie.
Yeah.
with a quite similar.
Bugs
plot.
War.
Bud's War. I like it.
The war on bugs.
Do you think like much smaller beings on our planet communicate similar to like how we do, and they're like, do you think they ask those types of questions like, are there aliens out there, and then they see like the first human they've ever seen, and they're like, oh shit,
Mhm.
alien.
Do you think they think alien, or do you think that
I
they look at
wish.
us like
Honestly.
Attack on Titan type Titans?
Ooh.
Like just giant dumb beings that keep crushing their shit. They're like, what are these things doing?
Definitely.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I don't like bugs either way. So, bugs can go to hell.
I'm literally only scared of one, and it's a cockroach.
Ew, yeah, I don't like any bugs.
Those things are creepy, and they survive nukes. That's never a
Yes.
good sign, right?
If you can split it in half and it can still last 14 days, no.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm gonna. And,
I'm
oh
good,
my god!
thank you.
Want a gross fact about cockroaches?
Yeah.
All right, so if you kill one, get rid of its body parts, or like at least don't kill it in your house, because its family will come and find its body parts, so they can eat
Ew.
it. So if you kill it and
Really?
leave it like on the bottom of your shoe, they will come and like attack the bottom of your shoe and like anywhere the residue is, because they smell the pheromones of it being dead. So you have to like bring it outside and kill it,
Gross.
or bleach the shit out of everything.
Interesting.
Dude, it's so gross.
Those fuckers aren't gonna get me.
I hate roaches. There's flying ones in Texas. This is one of the reasons why it's off my list of
Mhm.
even visiting. I don't even want to go to Texas. If I see a flying cockroach, I'm dipping a 2-piece in a biscuit and screaming and probably pissing myself at the same time. It's just like a cicada. I hate those things.
Run away.
I feel like I always look at everything in regards to like what kind of threat does it pose to me, like what kind of physical threat. And again, bugs are one of those things that like, bro, they outnumber us. Why do we not talk about this more often? Why are we not more concerned about the fact that bugs just outnumber humans so much? Like if they grew just an extra, if they just doubled their size, we're done. We're
Yeah,
done.
just
The
imagine if an
entire-
we're
ant got the size of
screwed.
a dog.
Yeah.
An ant the size of a dog to take out like 3 humans.
Oh, we would be.
Would you rather fight 10 horse-sized ducks or one, or is that the other way around? How is it worded?
10
It's like
duck-sized horses?
duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
10 horse-sized...
You
10
take the
duck-sized horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Same.
I'm booting them like a chihuahua.
Yeah, bro. What and that just like I don't know, man. We used to have a lot of ducks down in Florida in this pond, this like little lake that my family down there owns. And bro, if a duck like if it snaps on you and like tries to bite you, shit hurts.
Yeah, imagine a horse-sized duck doing that to you.
Yeah, the thing it basically just Photoshop a duck over the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, and you've basically got then what's gonna happen. If
That's what you got there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that terrifies me. Just imagine if it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you guys big fans of the duck song?
The duck song.
The duck song. You're like bum 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 ba dum ba dum. You've never heard the duck song?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's
Got any grapes?
Yep. Parker knows.
It's
Parker
that
knows
one.
the duck song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'll have to look
You
this
got
up.
any grapes?
You gotta watch the original duck song. There's like the
Mhm.
first one, and then like maybe two more, and then there's just a bunch of recreations of the original one that are really funny.
Is it like one of the? Did it come around the time like Carl and stuff like that? Like llamas? Is it like one of those YouTube videos, or is it something else?
Yeah. Like we
No,
used to
I
watch
don't.
it,
I guess kind of.
we used to
kind
watch
of
it a
is.
bunch in like middle and high school.
Like the Carl. Like did it come around that era?
Do you remember?
I think so. I think it was about that time.
Do you remember like the epic like the groundhog that like made the face and it was like dun 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 and it like turned and looked at you? You don't remember that one? Jeez. I would say after.
I
What,
probably
probably
would the second I watch it. I'd be like, oh shit, this is what you're talking about.
Probably after Chocolate Rain, but like before. Shit, I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know, man. I can't wait till they release a documentary on YouTube when we're like 60.
About all
then-
these ancient videos.
Yeah, just like YouTube trends, like in a documentary. Dude, that'd be so nuts. I'd watch that in a movie theater.
That'd be pretty fun.
Was
Imagine
it?
like taking your grandkids to see it, like them having to watch all the dumb shit we used to.
Yeah.
Back when I was a boy.
We still.
Was it?
Go ahead.
Was it the Bo Burnham Inside thing? Was that? They're putting that in theaters or something? Is that what that
Don't
said?
even get me started on that.
It's so good.
For like one day or something?
Dude, it was so good. Kat fell asleep during the Bo Burnham thing, but it was fantastic.
It was great. I loved it. It was dark at times too.
It was more like a documentary more than it was a comedy special. There was just like a documentary with comedy in it.
Yeah, like I felt like I was watching a documentary, like you were just saying, Frank. That just also like, oh, by the way, features some skits. Like,
Yeah. Did you have I have a favorite one, and it's definitely the internet one.
I got to go back and rewatch it because I only remember so many of them.
I have the album saved on
President
Spotify.
of White Girls Instagram.
That one was
Yeah,
also a top.
That one kind of cracked me up.
White Woman's Instagram was hilarious. But I
That one cracked me up.
because I've only watched it one time.
Unpaid Intern also cracked me up.
Yeah, Unpaid Intern was good. Was that the one that was black and white? It was like playing the piano or whatever.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. That one was good.
I think Kat fell asleep right after sexting. Because she was like half awake and she went, and then fell asleep.
You were just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that noise?
Have you ever watched any of his other ones? I know two of his specials by heart.
I've seen the other specials, and I can't like.
There was Words.
Yeah.
Made Happy, which is just on Netflix. And there's another one that I actually really liked, and I don't know what it's called.
In high school, I used to mostly just watch his stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then all the specials he has, I've seen them all at least once, but I don't remember them very vividly.
One of my favorite YouTube specials that came around Bo Burnham's time was Nature.
That's pretty neat.
It's a guy that Parker showed me. It's a guy that goes up to trees and he literally goes,
You're going on a nature walk,
yeah.
I don't
and
know.
you
I
walk
don't
up
know
to
if
a
I've ever
tree. He
seen
walks
that
up to this tree and he goes, "This is an aspen tree. You can tell it is. You can tell by the way it is. How neat is that?" No, don't remember that one.
It
No, I've
was
never seen that.
hilarious.
I've
It's
never
so
seen it.
good.
It was Parker introduced me to that freshman year.
I think the last.
Sometimes I like to shake up the dirt, get the earth moving. We might be seeing a mountain lion, a mountain beast.
Uh,
I need to go deep into YouTube today and just drop some